Hi, I'm Laura Flanders of The Laura Flanders Show, where I interview the best thinkers and doers of our time. On TV, the show premieres Sundays at 11:30 Eastern on PBS World and at the Laura Flanders Show YouTube channel. You can join my guests and me every week there in the live viewing party, and then catch us all week on public television stations. Prefer to listen? Find us on a radio station near you or subscribe to the free podcast. You'll find listings and ways to subscribe at lauraflanders.org. That's also where you'll receive my regular commentaries. I call them the F word. Here's this week's. In the middle of a brutal assault, it's difficult to talk about demilitarization, and so it was with trepidation that I convened a conversation about exactly that this month. One of my guests, Anastasia Lukhina, a war refugee from Ukraine, has a degree in peace building from Notre Dame University. In regular times, she said, she'd describe herself as a sort of peacenik, but now, quote, considering the situation and the losses we have on the ground, we really need military assistance and we really need modern warfare, and we need as much of it as we can get as soon as possible, she said. More warfare is certainly coming, even if Russian forces draw back from Kyiv and negotiations reach a deal. The conflict's already seen massive growth in weapons spending by the EU and NATO, even by countries like Germany and Denmark, who've been spending down for years. Russian spending is up and the US leads the pack. The Biden administration's proposed Pentagon budget for 2023 stands at $813 billion, bigger in real terms than ever before and as bloated as ever. And spending on Ukraine is only a tiny fraction of it. As Phyllis Bennis of the Institute for Policy Studies pointed out, the payment of billions of dollars on new weapons systems failed to prevent Russia's invasion. Indeed, Vladimir Putin used NATO's build-up as one of his excuses for it. As Phyllis put it on air, while there's an inevitable urgency for all things military right now, we know that greater militarization creates more problems afterwards. The idea of a neutral Ukrainian state gets fainter with every war crime. But if the US and NATO resume their military exercises in Ukraine, the risk of war with Russia will stay with us. In the end, my guests agreed that what's needed for a sustainable peace will be a victory in the war and an equal investment in the architecture of peace, and not just the president-to-president kind, but the people-to-people sort. Gesturing to a book on his shelf published by anti-war activists in 1913, Dmitry Makarov, zooming in from Russia, suggested that in today's interconnected world, we're much better equipped to communicate globally now than we ever were, and every local crisis has global implications. Could the OSCE, the UN, or the Council of Europe be empowered to monitor and constrain not just Russia's arms deals, but everyone's? Could today's sanctions regime provide a model? Conversations like this aren't easy, but we're going to need more of them, and they won't come on media networks underwritten by arms manufacturers. That's why I'm happy to be launching Season 3 of The Laura Flanders Show on PBS stations this week. Scholars of authoritarianism say that mind control begins with the limiting of options, a lopping off of a whole set of realities and choices. Dissenters say that what makes a difference is practice. And this conversation felt like practice. Practice in holding two things together at the same time. The need to stop this war and to work across national boundaries to prevent the next one. You can find my conversation with Ukrainian professor Anastasia Lukhina, Russian human rights defender Dmitry Makarov, and Phyllis Bennis, director of the New Internationalism Project at the Institute for Policy Studies, on PBS stations this week, or find it on YouTube. Subscribers to the free podcast receive the full uncut version. You can sign up at lauraflanders.org. For The Laura Flanders Show, I'm Laura. Thanks for listening.